This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Republicans love to twist the rules, break the rules, certainly bend the rules, especially related to electoral politics. They are unable to win over the American people on the weight of their ideas, so what do? They cheat to win elections. Whether that be outright attempting to end democracy in America by way of a coup, an attempted coup, an insurrection against the country, or in more insidious ways, more dangerous ways, I believe, more palatable to your average American who's not really awake to all of their tactics. Voter suppression, gerrymandering, and in this case, I'm going to talk about Nebraska, but it relates to a Florida issue when Ron DeSantis decided to run for governor, and there was a Florida law that you'd have to resign as governor to run for president. And the Republican Florida legislature changed that rule specifically for Ron DeSantis so he could run for president. That's what's going on in Nebraska right now. This effort just failed, but it's not over. Republicans are going to continue to try to change the rules to benefit Donald Trump specifically. You see, there are two states in the union that don't do it like everybody else. In a typical state, California, New York, Idaho, Oklahoma, whoever wins the popular vote it's a winner-take-all system for the Electoral College. It is wild, it is stupid, it is anti-democratic. But Maine does it a different way. They separate it by congressional district. And Nebraska does the same thing. It's different there. It's not winner take all. And Republicans right now are doing everything they can to make sure Donald Trump has the best shot he can at winning back the presidency. Even if that means uprooting their time-honored traditional system that makes them different and special for Donald Trump. Here's an article from the Washington Post. Here's the headline. Nebraska lawmakers vote against Trump-fueled push to change electoral vote system. The former president and Governor Jim Pillen threw their support behind a languishing proposal to return the state to a winner-take-all system to potentially aid Trump in November. Former President Donald Trump's push to get Nebraska Former President Donald Trump's push to get the Nebraska legislature to change the way it awards electoral votes faced a major setback Wednesday night when lawmakers voted overwhelmingly to prevent the change from being attached to an unrelated bill. You see, they can't even just tackle it head on. They're putting it in something different in case maybe it won't get noticed and we'll just be able to pass it through. It didn't work. In fact, you're going to learn here that they're trying to prevent that from happening again by throwing up roadblocks to this nonsense. Nebraska is one of only two states that divide electoral votes among statewide and congressional district winners, which allowed Joe Biden to pick off an electoral vote in the red state in 2020 by carrying a swing district in the Omaha area. But Governor Jim Pillen, Republican, and Trump on Tuesday endorsed a proposal to return the state to a winner-take-all system, but possibly upending the final days of the state's legislative session, which ends on April 18th. The effort was put to an early test Wednesday night when Republican State Senator Julie Slama tried to add the winner-take-all proposal to an unrelated bill as an amendment. The chair of the legislature ruled that the amendment was not germane to the underlying bill, prompting an effort to overrule the chair. Quote, if you want winner take all in the state of Nebraska, this is your last chance. This is the last train out of the station, Slama said before the vote. If we can't overrule the chair here, I can't imagine this passing on any other bills this session. The vote to override needed 23 yes votes to pass. Given the attendance in the chamber at the time of the vote, only 8 voted yes. In a text message after the votes, State Senator John Kavanaugh, a Democrat who represents Omaha, said Republicans had few other options for trying to pass winner-take-all this session. Quote, they could attempt again, but we have put blocking motions and amendments on anything we think they could attempt to attach it to, he wrote in a text message. And then final paragraph here, The sponsor of the winner-take-all proposal has said he does not have the votes to overcome a filibuster, but Trump's intervention has raised speculation that Republicans could regroup. And that is exactly what they will do, because Republicans are unmoored by democracy. They don't care that the American people that their ideas don't resonate with the American people. They don't care that they're out of step, that they're out of touch, that no one's really interested, except for the most extreme elements in our country. No one's really interested in the structural and fundamental change of our culture, of our society, of our governance, of our judiciary, of our rights, of our democracy. People they're not interested in that. But Republicans will stop at nothing, including changing the rules mid-game in order to give them an advantage. And that's what we're seeing here. It's what we've seen over the course of the history of our country, especially related to race relations, especially related to how white Republicans treat the black vote with disrespect, with disdain, with fear. Now, that's not necessarily an element to this, microphone, not necessarily an element to this in Nebraska, being a pretty white state, but it just goes to show you that anything is on the table to win, including this. Anyway, I'd love to know what you think about this. Are you from Nebraska? What's going on with your Republicans in Nebraska? Now, luckily, this did fail, but keep your ear on the ground if you are in Nebraska for more dirty tricks like this. 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, as always, daily@dollemore.com. I'd love to hear from you. You can also just leave a comment below. That'll help to juice up the YouTube algorithm. They will recommend this channel to hopefully new viewers who may get involved and join the viewership family. Are we a family? I think some of us are. If you want to help support this work, produce this work, help me make these videos, click the join button below this video on YouTube. For $2 a month, you can help support this work. You can also go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. For $2 a month, you can help support the work there too. Follow me on social media. I am at Dollemore. I'd love to see you there. And I will see you next time. As always, I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.